The commencement of the skills development training for tour operators and guides in Nigeria was marked by the arrival of the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Mrs. Lola Ade-John, alongside the Director General of the National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism, Alhaji, Nura, Sani, Kangiwa, and their delegation at the palace of the Oloja of Ekpeland, Oba Kamorudin Ishola Animashaun. Their visit to the palace, discussions revolved around the showcasing of various monuments in Ekpe and the enhancement of its tourism potential. Among the monuments deliberated were the first post office in Nigeria, situated in Ejinrin, the Kela Jolu Festival, Oju Alaro, Shugmeredo, and notably the historic abolishment of the slave trade in Ekpe.
It's something that Ekpe will forever remember for the rest of their life, and we hold it on a very high esteem. You're coming here today, and at the same time, our Gigi is very familiar with Ekpe. So, Ma, we want to say thank you very much for coming, and at the same time, we have a whole lot. I think KBC will go ahead for Jai to discuss that with you as part of our monument and some of our potentials that we have in Ekpe. And I want the DG as well to, to intervene on this. Some of our monuments that's supposed to be part of the national monuments, like the first post office in Nigeria and some other things like that. The first post office in Nigeria is here in Ekpe, and so many things like that that we have that's supposed to be part of the national monument. And aside that, we want you to go around and see if there's any way, because there's always a room for tourism in Ekpe, since we are very rich in potentials and our heritage is very rich, and we have good content when it comes to Ekpe, history of Ekpe. So you are welcome, Ma, and we look forward to what you have for us in Ekpe as well. Thank you.
I was starting an existing protocol, so please permit me. You are welcome, my Honorable Minister. You see, Ekpe is an ancient town. You see, being an ancient town, we have a place called Ujualaro here. We have up and down, both the upper side and the lagoon. But here you will see one tree there. That tree, nobody can say this exactly years. And you will surprisingly, in the rainy season, it won't dry. In the dry season, it won't dry. It will just be like that. And you will see the leaf evergreen. Nobody can say this is the year. Yeah. You're supposed to be part of a good monument you have in Ekpe here. The same thing in the Mane side. That's where we call it Ujualaro. That's where we almost sacrifice some of our heritage in time of boat regatta, and the boat regatta has history in Ekpe here. There's a lot of things that we don't do. And it's after we did our own in Ekpe here that all the Jebulan and most societies, all the Lagos states, as Ogun State, will do all their cultural heritage. Because, you see, when there's a time of slave trade, Ekpe here stops slave trade on this lagoon. That's why we have to use this our Kalajulu masquerade. Because then We have Alausa house. We have some, who are the people then use this boat regatta. By that time, they use those small boats. It's what we are using to do our age group up to today in the division. They arrange because they used to pass here down to Lagos from Cameroon and other areas. So we stop here with this masquerade. So when the old people in the ancient town, they call themselves in group by group. That's why we use it as a lead group. So they said, okay, this masquerade that they are using to take slave trade past this our lagoon has to be stopped. So they have to do it. They fight, and the head of Akalajulu was buried in Ekpe. That's how they can't pass here. That's how they stop slave trade to pass.
So that's why they extend.
So that's why, because by that time there's a lot of activities they did before they can go on lagoon, because this Akalajulu is very powerful, because it's a masquerade that come to use it to take this slave trade. At the same time, they use it to do many things that time. So our forefathers has to arrange some few things traditional way to make sure that as they are going for this war, we make sure that they stop it. So that's what we are doing next to do. We have the masquerade called Agra, Agbo, Akalajulu is not our own. But being that when our Asian people said, okay, if we conquer this war, you people must be sacrificed. You must sacrifice this culture every year, and that's what we're doing. So the boat they use that time is what we are using for the boat regatta today. We modernize it because there's one that has to come from other side, which in your Mausa area. That Mausa area is a thing you will visit sometime, anytime you know, because there's a lot of things there in Mausa. So that's how we started, because that one we call, you should not graze that one unless you use this palm kernel tree leaf. That's only what they use for that single boat. It's the first one that you have to call. You call it so to come, so others then will follow. So that's why we use our heritage. We use it to all our masquerade. So when we do our own Korodu, we do their what we call festival, Agbo, and Agboa. We use their Agbo, Remerike. Other all these areas, go to the state, we start to do, because that's why you see, because of we call them a Calabar BTT. That one they won't use this palm kernel leaf to you see them. So because that one stops so. Because during this time of Kilajuli, you will see our people beating themselves because it's a warrior time. So they use skin to make sure that they fight each other. But no matter how, even if you see the mark, the second day to dry. So because of that, we call it a kaluba. So you cannot see salt in anybody's leg in the leg. So unless if it comes from another area. But even if it comes from another area to cure, God grace. That's it. We have a place called Igbodu, very close to here. Where the Ogumu there. That place always clean. So we cannot wear any charm, any jewelries, anything to enter. Otherwise, anybody that enter that place cannot know where to get out. So it's there. But his face is here. I think you take them down there.
Yes, yes, we got it yesterday.
You see how the water comes in. The outlet is at Ejinu, where we said Bubu. So many things like that. And in Ojualara Ibute, there's a place which is there inside the port there.
I told them yesterday.
So it's only the Oba himself can enter that place once.
Yes.
In Islam. That is before he become the Oba. Before a certain throne. So you can see that once. Than that, nobody can enter that place except the Alhaji.
The sheep priest.
The sheep priest is the only one. That is in the barrier there. Many like that. So we are appealing to the state government and the federal government to look into all this. So thank you, Honorable Minister, for even coming to look into all this. And we want all these things to go into monuments. That's our heritage for our incoming children. You know that this is how we do it. Thank you very much. And God bless.
And what Kabis was trying to tell us here is that we have a very high profile when it comes to potentials and heritage. Like this slave trade that he was talking about. That is, Ekpe was able to fight their own slave trade on their own. They were able to apprehend Akalajulu to stop the slave trade, rather than, compared to Badagry, that their own was, took a very long time before they could stop their own slave trade. That is one. Then two, we have different kind of potentials in Ekpe. Like this Olubekere that Kabiyesi was talking about. The water moves in circular form. Olubekere, that is our own point of no return. Nobody can enter Olubekere and comes back, except those that are in charge of the exactly. So these are the parts of the things that we have. And at the same time, there's an ancient fish that nobody can see, that which has been in existence even while we don't even know, and it has been there inside the water, not dead and all. It has been there for a very long time.
Big,
and likewise the tree as well. There's a tree that has been in existence for a very long time that only God knows. And at the same time, the post office that Kabiyesi was talking about, that's the first post office in Nigeria. So anytime that maybe some other time, when you call, because it's in Nigeria, and everything that was used in the time when the post office was situated is still there. Even the bikes, the stamps, and everything is still in there. So it's supposed, things like that supposed to be part of the monument in Nigeria. And we still have so many. We have Shungoiredo, and that is the tunnel that leads to Egypt. We have it here. So many things like that. And it leads to Egypt. Yes, that was where Queen Sheba came through Egbe. That's where we have Baliki's tomb. She was buried in Ogun State here. And we have a tomb here in Ogun State. But the tunnel, we have it here as well. So these are part of the things. We have so many things. Even in Egbe, there was a time an elephant was sighted. The elephants reside in Egbe, but they migrate up and down. We have so many things. The president of the hunters is here in Ekpe as well. The president of all the hunters. We have some animals that are very rare that they don't have outside. We have it here. We have porcupines and so many other things. So these are part of the things that we have in Ekpe here. So we are planning and we are hoping that your honorable minister, your good office, you can help and assist so that all these things can come to light. Thank you very much.
We have slave history in Badagry. We have slave history in Lekki. We have slavery history on many slave ports across the Atlantic Ocean. But the difference between all these places and what we have in Badagry is that we are telling our stories in Badagry. But in Ekpe here, there are still families that have slaving instruments, like the necklock, the wrist lock, the ankle shackle. They still have those things. But the selling point for Ekpe is this. There's a very big story here that they fought against slavery. And they have evidences. So we can really work on that. So that will be the selling point for Ekpe as abolitionists. Because in the US and many black dominated regions of the world, the research we are making right now is that we are looking for how Africans from Africa and other places our role in abolishing the slave trade. Universally, the information they gave us from the books they wrote, now we are changing the narrative, making our own research and telling our own stories. They said Africans sold Africans. And at the back of the mind of some black people in diaspora, they are feeling bad. Some of them are still feeling bad. Some of them don't like us with the mindset that after all, you sold us. But we argue with them that that is not the whole story. When you go everywhere in Africa, every community have their own story to tell. It is not one story. It's different. Now, in Ekpe, we have a story to tell. What is the story? Africans, local people in Ekpe, fought the collaborators, those who collaborated with the Portuguese and other Europeans. The local people in Ekpe fought them, and the main collaborator was beheaded. And they have a festival to commemorate that. That festival is very important because black people will come from all over the world to be a part of that festival. So we can build the slave history in Ekpe. We can, in fact, imagine there is no one museum in Ekpe, not one. So we can build a slave history museum with a different perspective that is talking about how Africans abolish the slave trade in an African community. That is the selling point. Thank you.
The former governor had at least done the roads, and I was pleasantly surprised at the level of work he has done, and will continue from there to make sure that this place is a place to come to. Now, last week I spent some time at Ikegun, the La Campagne Tropicana, and he is planning to bring to ensure that people come from the Caribbean, Antigua, Barbados, and all those people to not only to Nigeria but also to Africa. And I think the most important thing that I've learned today is the fact that Ekpe was very instrumental in the abolishment of slave trade, and I'm sure they would like to. I'm sure the rest of Nigeria would like to, because this is the first time I've heard this story, and I think it is very important that we chronicle this. It would be nice. I mean, I really wish I had time to go and see some of those places so that we'll see how we can bring investors to come and develop the place, you know, to showcase it, at least a heritage site that we can advertise and we can promote. And I would really like to do that in our time. Luckily, Ekpe is known for its seaport, its fish, its hospitality, and we are sure that
we have the best fish.
But I think that one of the reasons why, apart from the heritage, is that we want to extend our Ecogenesis incubator series, which is one of the things that we are doing at the federal ministry level. That is preparing the communities for tourism itself. We are training them at tour operator level, at souvenir level, you know, to be ready for the influx of tourists, you know. So I'm very happy I met the tour operators, and I'm going to have a chat with them. Kangiwa, the DG of Night Hotel, he and his team are also here to train part of the community, you know, is train the trainers in preparation for the influx of tourism. So throughout Nigeria, and we are glad we've been to Makurdi, we have been to Ekiti, Kogosi, and we've been to Badagry, but not at this level, and then Ekpe, and I thank the local government chairman for his, you know, engaging with us and making sure that it is coming to Ekpe is one of our stops. I would like to thank her.
Subsequently, the minister embarked on a tour of significant historical sites in Ekpe, including Ojualaro Sale and Ojualaro Oke, where she commended the abundant tourism prospects present in the region.
That was talking about that live fish that as old as anybody. Nobody can even say this is inside.
Sorry.
Otherwise, we just open it for you. So
we are just doing it part of the culture, part of the tradition, and the feeling. But now that we are trying to pop up the making the place the tourist attractions, then less. No, because from indications and from what we heard when we were young, it was that okay, this place when there was slave trade in those days, and this place is closer to water road,
eastern side.
So eastern side. You understand? So when they were coming, trading slave passing to this place, they used to repel them. So we have some category of young men. They call them age groups who repel them. And the head of those traders, they call the person Akala Jolu. You understand?
Okay, I will show you.
The head is somewhere. So in the course of it, he was beheaded, and they brought the head back to the community, and that is when they ran away from this area, from coming to carry or kidnap people for slave trading. So since then, they formed a kind of age group who comes and stand in defense of the communities. So we have three categories at all times. You understand? Even all these ones, some of us, we've done our own past, and the younger ones are those who are vibrant and competent. So we do those things over 3 months. You understand? And I think the climbers, we have about 2-3 climbers. Another one is coming up.
We're even celebrating the Killer Jolu on this Wednesday. I think when you came on Wednesday, you will see the
man crowd. You understand? People from look and training who are using it as kind of our culture, our traditions to celebrate. But I think it's what we can develop to be a kind of tourist attraction. Because when you come, like Wednesday, you can send some of your visitors to come, and we can give you clips.
So what we want to do,
yes,
based on even Macaulay, so also Akapa local government, we want to write to the states now to work with the local government to extract those festivals and those traditions and maybe heritage sites. We are going to list them so that when you give us this information, I know that there's some information in here, but we want to make soft copy. So that's why you give it to us in Word document so that we can post it, and then we use that now to prepare programs of development.
The mangroves here, these are in their natural vegetation. Exactly. You can have tour guides who will take them into the mangroves and teach them or educate them on the history of the mangroves here.
Even the fishing, the fishing nets over there, the fishing boats, there is a story to all this that we are seeing over there. So the tour guides in Ekpe can develop information for all these things, because that is what the visitors are interested in. When we came
especially here, backpackers. They don't need big hotels. No. All they need is
camping
your
house. You rent a room.
Once you have a room,
each
person just have one room. Make sure that the room is nice and clean. With AC, there's Wi-Fi, clean toilets, and that's all backpackers are looking for. Once you rent $80 a night.
Then you guys, another one will come and guys, another one you cannot even touch it.
The delegation then proceeded to the Ekpe Local Government Secretariat, where certificates were presented to participants who had undergone training in tour guiding and operations. This training initiative was conducted through a collaboration between the Ministry of Tourism and the National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism, aimed at equipping individuals with the necessary skills to contribute to the growth and development of the tourism sector.
From the foregoing, the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism, being an apex body backed by the Act of Parliament to pursue and professionalize the sector, is poised at pursuing its mandate to train, certificate, register sector operators and practitioners personnel towards creating jobs, generating employment for self-reliance, reducing unemployment, restiveness, and improving national economy. Since inception of NAWATO in 1987, we have offered professional trade and occupational career guidance and counseling, training and empowerment to over 102,000 with an annual target of 4,000 personnel across the sector industries to build capacity, improve productivity standard, output, and add national economy. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is our belief that no amount of investment in either infrastructure or in expanding capacity in Nigeria that will ever be successful unless the necessary manpower in the required numbers and at the required levels of knowledge and skills are provided to operate and manage the sector. To this end, our commitment to see NAWATO achieve this mandate in this respect remains unshakable. I wish you all the participants success in your tour operation and guiding endeavor and career. Thank you and God bless you.
One, tourism. We need to identify our tourist potential. We need to build on it, and this is what is obtainable world over. What do we see in tourism? It creates employment opportunity. It reduces unemployment rates. It reduces people wandering about doing talking. Rather, people get themselves employed in meaningful things. It brings money to their pockets. It generates revenue to the local governments. It makes the environment neat and serene. And it creates ambient, safest environments, even prosperous and secured environments for all of us to live. And with this opportunity that we're having, I want to assure the Honorable Minister that the people of Ekpe, we've noticed one or two things in the course of touring around the community. We've noted with grand attention your observation. And we promise that we are going to work on it. We are going to make necessary amendments, and we are even going to take it above the bar. So when your next visit to Lagos State and to Ekpe, you will be amazed that these are people who are really interested in developing the tourist potential of this community and making a good living from it by God's grace. So shall it be. So,
I am honored to stand before you today at the launch of the Eco Genesis incubator series here in Egbe. This is the third or fourth edition of the series. We started in Makodi, and we went to Egbe, we went to Badak, Ekiti, and then I think we did Badagry, and then also Egbe here. And the reason for this is because we truly believe in the potential of local-based tourism, that it is for we in the country and not necessarily for foreigners, but we are preparing you also for foreigners, how you engage with them, how you tell the stories, how you cook for them, how you create souvenirs for them, how you give them accommodation, and so on and so forth. So tourism is something that we need to take seriously in this country. And you know, even though we are complaining about security-related issues, it's not all parts of the country that have security issues. Egbe, for instance, from what I've seen, is not a terrorist place. It is more of the area boys that will scare people away, but there's so much potential. In fact, the houses that you have here in Egbe, the old houses, the colonial houses, are even more than what you have in Lagos. In Lagos, they've broken down most of the houses. So I urge you to keep what you have, to keep the good parts of what you have. Let us not succumb to development of the families that want to make money, because that's what it's all about. The families, when somebody dies, they want to share in the proceeds of the estate, and so they break down what is potentially a money-making venture. That is, people come to see the old homes, the old houses. And so, this series marks as a pivotal moment where we embark on a journey of empowerment and growth in our local tourism industry. As Minister of Tourism, I am deeply committed to fostering sustainable development and promoting the immense potential of our beautiful Egbe region through community engagement. And I really mean that it is a beautiful place. It has so much potential. You have the beach, you have the mangrove, you have the water. You know, I can think of a lot of things that you can do locally to make money and to attract people. The road from Lagos has been, almost fixed. And instead of people just staying in Lagos, they can come here and advertise. We're going to help you to advertise and to promote what you have so that people can come here. The Eco-Genesis Incubator Series represents a significant milestone in our efforts to evaluate tourism to elevate tourism in Egbe. By providing training and guidance to our aspiring and established tourist operators and guides, we are investing in the future of our people and unlocking new opportunities for economic prosperity. What I would like to add is that for tour guides who can make a lot of money, you need to bring yourselves up, you need to dress appropriately, you need to be welcoming to possible visitors. We need to create packages where we offer our tourists, it doesn't matter whether it's by walking or public transport, Nura or even motorcycle rides, to take them around the community and show them what you have. Also, it's important to understand the history of our community, to tell the story, and most importantly, not because people like food, thing we've not done is to be able to identify the best groups in the community. What do they have to offer? If it is pounded yam, if it is eba, if it is fashion, if it is crocodile, if it is fish, that is what I'm appealing to the local government and also to the state government to make it official. So this is the place to come to for seafood, not a small place in Makoko, Yaba. You come down here and do your shopping, make money here for the community.
Yeah, I feel delighted, I feel happy, and I feel great knowing the importance of culture and the heritage of Ekpe local government. In fact, I'm blessed to be part of this great occasion.
Well, my message to them is for all of them to key in into this golden opportunity and develop themselves, take from this place, make themselves a tourist ambassador to this community, because we have a lot of potentials in it. It creates employment opportunity. It makes them to generate revenue, revenue for themselves and for the community. I feel they should have this opportunity. Instead of them looking for a job, make them to be self-reliant, create an avenue, even artists, crafts, so that when tourists come, they can buy their product and make money. So I feel the members of the community should key in. And to God be the glory, this is the 4th edition of this program in Nigeria. This is a great one. So it's better we key into it and we capitalize on this window and make the handmaids from it.
This training is all about to showcase our cultural heritage and to promote our community to the world, not only to Nigeria alone. We have learned many things with the training and we are ready to take it up. We want the whole world to know that Ekpe is blessed with a lot of things that the world needs to know and to also benefit from it. Coming down to Ekpe to visit our tourist centers, I think it's a blessing to us and to the visitors. So we are using this opportunity to call on everybody to come down to Ekpe. We have been to many places yesterday. We have learned a lot of things, and we are ready to take it up to make sure that our culture is promoted in our community. We have many things that we need to showcase, and we really appreciate the federal government to deem it fit come down to Ekpe. We have many local governments in Lagos State to have choose Ekpe and partaking in this program. We really appreciate it. We thank Ekpe local government chairman for putting our effort, making sure that Ekpe is seen to the world. This tourist is our vision to Ekpe. She have been trying to push for it to the world. The last time she organized tourists for Ekpe, very aronu. When you write a film, a show, and you also partake in it, in fact, the role she played, in fact, is not expected. She did it. It shows that she has passion for it, and she's doing it. We appreciate her. We appreciate every one of us, even the facilitators, the way they handle things. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
The take home is that Ekpe has so much potential. It's should I say, one of the foremost fishing villages in the southwest region. You have a lot of old colonial houses, you have rich heritage, you have a lot of history that can be showcased to Nigerians and to the world, and it's a relatively safe place, so there's no reason why people cannot come here. You just need to do a little bit of work and then Bob's your uncle. My message to them is that tour operations is not just about taking people around. You have to have the personality, you have to engage with your the visitors, you have to maybe give them water and things like that. and then people will come again and again. You have to know the history of this place, what you are selling or what you are showcasing to them. So there's a lot of homework, and this is just the beginning of that series. Yes, a lot. In other words, the Ekpe itself as a community will prepare itself to receive visitors. They will clean up the place. With the state government, they will identify certain places that should be well kept, you know, like the tree that we saw in front of the mosque, and you know, and so on and so forth. They have the lagoon, they have the mangrove, they have, you can have boats there, you know. There's so much to do. You have the colonial type houses that people can come and visit.
The importance of this training that was given to them is for them to be able to identify everything that has to do with Ekpe, every potentials that we have, everything that has to do with our culture and heritage in Ekpe here. So it enables them to find out what all the heritage, the origin is about, and the origin of the heritage and the potentials we have in Ekpe, and how it can be of a great revenue and Nigeria to the community. So these are part of the reason why we deem it fit to train these students so they can make use of this as a profession on its own. So that's why we are here today. And to me, if they are able to, since we've trained them now and they have collected their certificate from the new author, I think it will enable them to know that Ekpe has a kind of potential that can make them even rich and bigger than what they think they are. My advice to the beneficiaries is that this is a real opportunity and they should make good use of it. And at the same time, we actually train them so that Ekpe can be promoted well. That's why they were trained. The Royal Majesty was talking to the minister this morning. He was able to explain so many things that and potentials that Ekpe has, and which can be of great importance to the community, and that can as well be a kind of IGR and not just to the local government, to individuals in the community. So we have so many potentials, and you know, we have so many things that we can showcase. We have Shugmo, Eredu. We have the first post office in Nigeria. We have our, that is in Nigeria, yes. We have Kalajulu, which, yes, the festival. We have different kind of masquerades in Ekpe, and we have Olugbokere in Ekpe here. We have our Ogumode shrine. We have so many things. We have the ancient tree, we have the ancient house, we have the ancient fish, and we have so many things that people can just come and see the potentials, and at least it will serve as, you know, something that people can, you know, think. When you come to Ekpe, you think of tourism, and you will know that Ekpe has a very great and good potentials that everybody, you know, will be looking up to every year, like the Ebi Festival, the water boat regatta. We have so many things that we do in Ekpe here, and we are able to, like, you know, stop the slave trade on our own. That is where Akalajulu comes in. So these are part of the things that we have. We have so many sites that you can come see, and you know, our site is very, very sacred, and it's something that you can't just you know, come and you don't want to come back again.